Welcome back. So this is your tutorial for pattern Do-san. So this is for the green stripe going for the green belt grading. Again, before coming to this tutorial, I hope you've learned the moves from the line work tab on the Martial app, or you visit our YouTube page. And the higher up the patterns you go, the more important it is that you've learned your new moves before you come and try and learn the pattern, because it will make learning the pattern far easier, especially on video. Okay, so Do-san starts from parallel ready stance again. So a nice relaxed position, and we step into the left again into walking stance with an outward block, high section outward block level with your eyes. So to get ready, I'm going to look where I'm going, and as always, take the weight. So I'm going to bend this knee and put this foot halfway in front of this leg and get ready whilst looking where I'm going. I'm going to straighten to a soft knee and step out, high section outer block, ready, level with my eyes. Okay, from here I'm just going to do a midsection punch, so I'm just going to bend my knee slightly, straighten, rock back and punch. Okay, now this is your sine wave, and this is an important point now, whereas I would like you to try and put this into your pattern, but the sine wave, this is more for high grades, black belts and above. If you've realized that the sine wave is good for you, then great. If it's not good for you, then it's not 100% necessary. You know, it's entirely up to you if you integrate it or not. You will not be penalized if you use a sine wave or not, but I do teach it, especially more in the lower grade patterns. Okay, so starting from the beginning, but for lower grades, try and do it exactly as myself and Mr. Fairley show you. Okay. So from here, take the weight, and from on top, look where you're going, straighten with the backward movement and drop into a high section outer block, and make sure you're in walking stance. You bend your knees slightly, straighten, rock back and punch. And that's where most beginners go wrong, because they walk forwards and punch. This is the first time in a pattern where you haven't walked forwards and punch. So then you're going to step turn. So I want you to step your left foot back into parallel ready stance. Take the weight on your left foot, bringing this foot halfway in front of the other foot. Look where you're going. From halfway in front of this foot, straighten with the backward movement and drop into a high outward block. Again, bend your knees slightly, straighten it out, rock back and punch. Okay. Stepping your left leg to the front into knife and guard. I do it in a slight semicircle to make it look nicer. So I bring it in and out into knife and guard from the front. Again, holding my eggs from the corner and accelerating throughout the movement, so I'm tense at the end. Okay? From there, I'm going to walk forwards into a straight fingertip thrust. But just before I do, I want you to bear in mind that this whole pattern is in walking stance, apart from this one L stance on your fifth move. Okay? So from here, you're going to walk forwards and block with your left hand and straight fingertip thrust with your right hand. Try and make sure your fingers are underneath your arm and not on show, and you've got a square in front of you. From here, you can pretend someone's grabbed your wrist, and you're going to twist your wrist out against the thumb. It won't work just with your hands, so you have to twist your whole body, feet and everything. So you're going to twist everything, okay, to get out of that move. Keeping your hand where it was, just pushing your thumb down. So I'm going to spin round to the camera now and do a back fist. When I spin round, I bring my left foot into my right foot, just the same. Straighten to a straight leg, but soft knee again. And from underneath, step out into a walking stance with a high back fist side strike to the temple. So I'm going to walk forwards again to the center line, pulling my hand back. From underneath, as I straighten my leg with a backward movement, step forwards, back fist again to the center. And notice I'm still on the central line as I started. Sometimes people, when they spin around, they go too far one way or the other, so try and make sure you're going straight down the middle. Okay, from here I'm doing back foot backwards again, just the same as I did in Dangun. Okay, so I'm going to pull my left leg in, take the weight, look at my watch, ready? Straighten my leg with a backward movement and start the pattern again, basically, with an outward block, high section. Bend my knee, straighten, and punch. So just like the start of the pattern, I'm going to step turn. So I'm going to step my left leg in, bringing my right leg halfway and hovering. From on top, straighten, outward block, high section this way. Bend your knee, straighten, and punch. Right, so at this bit, you might find this funny at my club, but I get my kids to sing me a song, okay? So it's the hokey dokey. So I'm going to step my left leg in and my left leg out. And I'm not going straight to the back. I'm going to go at a slight angle, just off center. So I'm going to step my left leg in and my left leg out into walking stance. not straight to the back, but just off center. And from my belt, I'm going to cross my hands in front of my face and show a high section wedging block. Okay, level with my eyes and shoulder width apart. I'm going to deliver a midsection snap kick, put my left hand out before I land and punch, and then lift my heel up and punch. So those two moves are in fast motion. So from the wedging block, I kick, set it up with my left hand out, punch, lift my heel and punch. So it's fast motion. So now I'm going to do the same again, but to the right, just off center. So again, we're going to sing a song. We're going to step your right leg in and your right leg out, just off center. You're going to cross your hands in front of your face, high section wedging block. When I kick, this time I'm going to put my right hand out. So when I kick midsection, I'm going to put my right hand out, punch when I land, and then lift my heel and punch. Okay? So again, it was right leg in and right leg out, wedging block. As I kick midsection, leave my right hand up, land, punch, lift my heel and punch. So it's fast motion. Okay, from here I'm just going to straighten up with the rising block to the back. So I don't want you to pull all the way back to straighten up. You can pull back a little bit as you get ready. And rising block to the back. And that rising block came from your waist with a slight backward movement. And then walk forwards again to the center. Drop your hand to your waist. From on top, straighten with a backward movement and drop. Okay? So try not to get mixed up with Dangun here, where it's 3 rising blocks to the back. It's only 2 in Dosan. So now we're going to do the back foot backwards again, just like Dangun. So I'm going to pull my leg in. Now my hand's in position again. This foot's halfway in front of this foot. From on top, I'm going to straighten, and I'm going to step out in a semicircle into sitting stance with a knife hand strike. And I'm looking where I'm striking. Push your heels out and push your knees out and look where you're going. Now I'm going to step together, look where I'm going, pull my hand in, take the weight from on top, straighten with a backward movement and step out in a semicircle into sitting stance and strike. Okay, and that's the end of the pattern. So again, my right leg moved last, so I'm going to bring my right leg back to ready stance. Barrel. And hopefully, you've noticed that in all the patterns so far, we've managed to finish in the same place we started, because all patterns start and finish in the same place. Okay, so that's your pattern tutorial for the pattern Dosan.